Good morning. It is Saturday the 27th of May. We have headed south today and we've headed down to Pulborough, which is West Sussex.
Yeah.
And
Was it East Sussex?
or is it East Sussex? East or West Sussex, can't remember. And we've parked at the Corn Store, which is where this bridge is and where you can just see that antiques and crafts sign, and this is the footbridge. And we're going to put in to the River Arun today. So if you can see over here, there she is. So we've got the old inflatable out today. So Marley's just going to get himself as dirty as possible before he gets in the canoe. You haven't even taken a step, look at him. So welcome along today. Nice summery one. I said it was going to be beautiful, but sun and cloud today. But we've had the odd rain shower, so I'm hoping we'll get no more rain. So yes, like I said, welcome along, and we're going to put in over the bridge. Okay, welcome back. We've put in and we're about a quarter of a mile downriver from the bridge. There's some young swans, cygnets, well, juveniles, you can tell by the brown feathers. But this is beautifully peaceful now we're out of the town. You can hear by the sounds. Marley always takes a while to settle down. We're actually going to camp tonight. We're going to see. We might head all the way to Amberley. We'll see, and I might get a train back and take the car down to pick Lucy up, or we might even paddle back if the flow's not too bad. But we thought we'd go for a real relaxing one on the river, and you can do nothing but relax when you're on the river. It's just heavenly. These two young'uns, siblings. Marley's getting used to sitting still for a change. We'll exercise him when we get camping. But we got the hammocks today because we thought if we don't find suitable trees, we can just put them on the floor. They're the DD frontline type, so yeah, that'll be fine. And we've got tarps. And Lucy's taking us around in circles.
Yeah, I know, it's really still here.
Right, I'll catch up with you a bit later. Goose. Right, hi guys. We've done a few miles, I think about 3.5, and we're just looking ahead at, I think it's Gratham Bridge. Who? Yeah, Gratham. But the tide, this is a tidal river, and the river current's changed and it's against us now, so it's become a little bit harder work. And I don't know how long it's going to go on for, but the river's rising, and like I said, the tide's coming in at the sea, so it's pushing the river back. And it's become a little bit harder. But we'll see if we can pull over at the bridge, let Marley out for a little while, maybe even have a coffee and a sandwich. I'm getting a bit hungry. Oh, Marley's tipping the boat. So we'll just keep on. Right. To show you what we're up against, you can see how quick the water is there under this bridge, and now we're going backwards. So we're going to pull over there and get some have a cup of coffee. Okay, we've just stopped for a coffee because, as you can see, we're going that way and the tide is whipping in that way. We're at high tide now, so this has got about another hour of heavy movement. So we're just going to sit, rest here because it's too much hard work. It's making us go half the speed we should be. Unfortunately, but there you go. I thought we got here early enough for the tide. I should have checked it out. So we're going to have a rest here, and then we'll see if we can head on to Amberley. But the tide should start coming back in at about 10:30 tomorrow morning, so if we leave it till then to set off, we should be able to hardly paddle and just breeze it up there. There he is, stick as usual. Those hills over there, the South Downs and Amberleys, obviously where this little river passes through, where we stopped on our South Downs walk last year. Right, we're approaching the railway bridge, which marks the start, the last little bit to Amberley. So it is officially Amberley on the left, but the station's a bit further on. So it's only the second bridge we've been under since we started, but we did have about a 3-hour break waiting for the tide to turn. A lovely relaxing way to spend the day though. Railway bridge. Okay, there's the White Cliffs of Amberley, we call them. So we're nearly there now. And last year, we tarped at the top of that field, just in the corner, where the farmer drove up on his quads with his son and just give us a good morning. Oh yeah, back here. Lovely. I am looking forward to something at that pub. Okay, this is the actual bridge you cross. You can see the signs with the blue arrows on them, either end. That's the official South Downs way. Okay, here we are, we've arrived. Now, those yellow signs ahead is our landing point. So that's where the tea rooms are. But I believe they're closed this time of day, so we're just going to leave the boat up on the mooring and head over to the pub across the road. Hopefully no one will mind. But we've done at least around 6.5, between 6.5 and 7 miles now. And now the tide, as you can see, is going with us. It's brilliant, it's dead easy. So we're going to leave it a bit later tomorrow. We're going to leave it a bit later, excuse me. We're going to leave it a bit later tomorrow to come home, so we come back with the tide because it's too hard otherwise. So, right. There's the bridge, beautiful. Let's get the boat moored up and get to that pub. The tea room's had some very unwelcoming signs, so we're just going to have a look down here, see under the road, see if the pub's got anything, but we might have to just break their rules and take the boat out there anyway. Tough. We'll have a look. Okay, we've left the boat moored over there, you can see it down there, and we are just walking across this bridge. The weather's cleared up beautifully and we're heading to that pub sign on the right. Cheers. Every time we come here we seem to have really good camping food. Not bad. Okay, we're fed and watered. We are going to head downstream. We're back at the bridge, obviously. You can see the flow of the river now, where the tide's gone back out. It's flowing normally now. So, we're going to head downstream, look for some trees, and find somewhere to camp. So, I'll get back to you soon. Okay, sorry if you can't see me too clearly, because it's getting dark, but my word, we've had trouble finding a place to camp. The river is the other side of that wall, and luckily, there's a hole about 200 metres down that way. So we threw the canoe over the wall, put the bags on top of the wall. And we think we're just going to camp here because it's about 8:30 at night and we haven't been able to find anywhere. The problem is with this river is because it's tidal, the water goes up about 5 feet and all it leaves is vertical 2-inch covered in mud steep slopes, 45, 60, 70 degree slopes. The canoe, I don't know if you can see this, look at the state of it. Look, this is the problem we've had. Look at Lucy's hat, look at the mud in the bottom, everywhere. We've had a nightmare getting out, so the sooner we get these hammocks set up the better. Lucy's gone to scout out an area down there, but I reckon we're going to end up in here. What do you reckon? Oh, good morning. Well, you can see our camp. This is the best we could do last night. We're right next to a path. The river's just over the other side of the wall, and fantastic night. All the flies and little gnats are out. We're packing up, and we're waiting for about an hour for the tide. It's on its way out at the moment. It's at low tide in Littlehampton, so the water's just draining out of the river. So we're going to shove the boat over the wall when we're ready, pack up, and then in about an hour we're going to head back upstream. But interesting night. Lucy was really ill at one point, obviously eating something that didn't agree with her. And then we had a rogue dog in the middle of the night barking, but it was obviously, we couldn't see it. It was over that way somewhere, but Marley was asleep in the boat, or strapped to the boat, but he was up and ready to have it. So yeah, interesting night. Wasn't it, mister? Hey? So we're going to have a coffee, breakfast, pack up, and we'll see you back on the river. While we are packing up, I'll just mention this here. Lucy got them. One of the dilemmas I always have in the summer is what bag to wear at night, what sleeping bag, how thick. What Lucy found on the net from China, unfortunately. This is a down blanket, and it is absolutely dead thin. And how much was it, Luce? 25 £25 for that. And I had it last night. It went down to about 10 degrees, and I was toasty. And it packs up into that, and it weighs about 300 grams less, and that is what I use in the summer, because I think they're great. You can throw it off you can just lie on your mattress and have it over you like a quilt. You can wrap it around you like a sleeping bag, or at night if you're chilly you can sit with it around your shoulders. And for 25 quid, who cares if it gets a hole in it or burns? It's really good, they are. I can recommend them. Well, we're just playing the waiting game at the moment. As you can see, the river's running left to right down to the sea. Low tide was a good while ago. The tide's rising now, so we're just playing the waiting game, waiting for the tide to turn, and then it will help us go back upstream. We ended up doing about, blimey, 8 and nearly 9 miles actually in the end last night. And the trouble is you can't come downstream when it's going against, because getting back upstream in our boat is a nightmare, so finding that spot was hard. So like I said, we're just going to sit here, chill out and wait for the tide to turn. Right, well, tide's finally turned. We're floating back upriver towards Pulborough. We've just got in here because, as you can see, there's nowhere around here to get in and out. And I don't know if you can see, but look at Marley's feet, look at that. And look at my shoes, state of the boat. That was not fun, but there you go. I suppose it is all part of the fun, so they say. So we're going to head back down this way, 8.5 miles. Let's see how this goes. Right, hello, hope you can see this. We are sheltering. It just absolutely, the heavens opened. It started raining about half hour ago, but God, it just hammered down. So we're hiding under this bridge. It's calming down now, but we're soaked, and you know what, it gets wet in the canoe. Hi guys, right, we are back at Pulborough. I didn't video much because, my God, did it rain. It absolutely hammered down. It was like a flash flood. I mean, this car park apparently was totally bone dry. You can see the puddles. That wasn't fun, to be honest, in that rain. I just want that lens. That really wasn't fun at all. So yeah, short but sweet, and a bit of a weird one this, but thank you for joining us on this one, and we'll see you on the next one.